Good morning to committee members, staff, certainly the guests here. It's certainly my pleasure to really present, say, from an anecdotal viewpoint, really what Asian Inc. as a nonprofit has seen over the years. My name is Michael Chan. I'm president of Asian Incorporated. We operate 3 minority business development agency business centers funded through the Department of Commerce in San Francisco, San Jose, and Fresno. So this gives us a fair context vis-a-vis the various industries, such as in agriculture, high-tech, biotech, construction, and in other areas and all. I myself have been involved in the selection of general contractors in regards to the construction of housing projects and commercial projects. So I've gone through competitive bid processes as well as design build processes and all. Most definitely I would say that, and my experience spans about 25 years in that regards. And certainly if we looked at contracting pre-Proposition 209, there was definitely a sense of within the stakeholders that the preference programs, certainly you had to be in compliance, because if you're not in compliance or so, there were penalties. There were things that could be done to ensure that down the road parties would not be, if they were not in compliance, be blackballed, essentially, or not permitted to compete and all. So there was that climate of wanting to make things work and so forth. And that was good. That was very good, because many firms who were starting off had to have initial access, had to be able to then get their feet wet and move up that ladder of capabilities to provide contracts. These same firms that I saw that were competing successfully and all, many have downsized. Many have definitely downsized or have moved into other markets and all. So really when Prop 209 happened, it created just a total climate, the whole climate of compliance just totally changed, just outright. What we then saw was that if we through the centers, if we certainly question, well, why can't we have some aspirational goals? Why can't we have other types of goals? The common excuse they would always run into was, well, we can't do that because of Prop 209. That. So there's no further discussion. We will not be in violation of Prop 209. That was a constant, repetitive excuse that we heard throughout the various counties of California. And in fact, our clientele, MBEs, we have MBE clients in 29 California counties. That's half. That's half of California's counties. So we did see these trends emerge, and most certainly they really were accelerated during the Great Recession, very much so. And we really saw how the old boys network was reinstated. That things reverted back. There was an absolute refusal to unbundle contracts. If you refuse to unbundle contracts, you in essence are preventing access. Under prior to Prop 209, unbundling was common, because that would give the opportunity for MBEs to advance, to grow their capabilities. Here, the argument was, well, we're not going to unbundle because we need to save money because of the economies of scale and all. But yet you run into various contractors, contracting agencies like the San Francisco airport, where they would unbundle their drywall contracts. They would hire 3 drywall contractors to do a terminal. Each would do, say, 1 floor. And they did bring everything within the budget on that. So that argument about saying that it would cost more and so forth, it was really leading to a point also that these contractors during the Great Recession would lowball. They would lowball to bank contracts. Their whole idea here was that in their selection of the subs, they would be subs that they were familiar with because they did a good faith effort. They did a good faith effort in selecting subs, say, for various projects, say, in the Bay Area. They would bring in their subs from Las Vegas. They would bring them in from Sacramento and all. And in doing so, in selecting them, they would say, we know you. The game here was that we want to maintain our overhead and profit because of the overhead and profit issue. I'll go straight into one particular example. We had, say, City College of San Francisco's Chinatown campus, a $128 million project. Less than 5% went to Asian American contractors. This was in the Chinatown project. How did that happen? Well, you had a said developer, Bovis. They said, all right, we know Asian Inc. is going to have a contract to monitor. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all of our subs pre-qualified, signed up. And they did that. They did that literally like the day before our contract was approved by City College. And then they said, well, everything is set now. You can't unwind this because it will create all types of legal issues and all. So we were forced and compelled to really deal with a stacked hand already on that. So in really closing, I would say too, right now the environment is also very abusive. If there is going to be a minority contractor that does make its way through and does rock the boat and all, many times in terms of compliance, all of a sudden there's disputes regarding change orders. All of a sudden there's disputes regarding the work specifications. And then there is no prompt payment. In essence, they're being made an example. They're being made an example so that they will not rise or compete again within that system at all. So those are the things I'd like to just share with the committee. Yeah.